Here's a set of 6 core principles and practices that have emerged from many years of innovation and prototyping across systems. The first core principle deals with the power of intention. Here's how Nick Hanauer, a serial entrepreneur from Seattle, has articulated this principle. When I met him with my colleague Joseph Jaworski, he was in his early 40s. He had founded 6 highly successful companies and also for many years had been board member of Amazon. He said, "One of my favorite sayings attributed to Margaret Mead has always been, never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." And then he comments on that quote, "I totally believe it. You could do almost anything with just 5 people. With only 1 person, it's hard. But when you put that 1 person with 4 or 5 more, you have a force to contend with. All of a sudden, you have enough momentum to make almost anything that's imminent or within reach actually real." I think that's what entrepreneurship is all about, creating that kind of vision and force. That's his view. And some of us may say, well, that's a bit of an extreme view. But if I am honest with my own life experience, kind of the few stories of significant change that I really know well, because I either participated in them or I really studied them intimately, then they all really boil down to the same core phenomenon, which is, in the end, there is a small group of highly committed individuals that are completely aligned around the same core intention. And as they align around the same core intention, that intention goes out into the world and creates a field of possibility around them that attracts other people, that attracts opportunities, that makes helping hands showing up, and that makes doors opening up that were closed before. And when I look back into my own life, and I remember kind of these periods where I had been part of such a group, and I felt elevated kind of by the force field of that kind of shared intention, I also felt that probably have been the happiest periods of my life, because they allowed me to connect to a deeper level of my own creativity, of what we as human beings can bring into the world, individually and also collectively. And when I talked about this phenomenon at some point with the economist Brian Arthur, and I asked him to comment on that, he said, intention is not a powerful force. Intention is the only force. So let me now sum up the 2 key principles that I have been talking about. 1, the power of intention. Connect to the possibility of the future that stays in need of you in order to bring it into reality. And crystallize vision and intention. That's principle number 1. And principle number 2 is form a core team of people that are completely aligned around this shared intention. 5 people can change the world. And what I learned over the years is that the future first shows up in our feelings, and only later on in our thoughts and in our mind. So which is exactly why in Theory U, we focus on also the open heart and the open will, and not only on the open mind. So as you go out and try to connect with people around the intention of the future, that's essential for your life and for your work, pay attention to the quality of energy that shows up when you connect to certain individuals around certain ideas and possibilities of the future, and use kind of that deeper listening as an important device to form the right kind of connections and to form the right kind of team.